Actor Mark Ruffalo has responded to some of the criticisms regarding a movie that he's helping to produce. It's a new movie titled Anything, and it has to do with a transgender person working in the sex industry. Now, a lot of the criticism has to do with the fact that the person cast to play that role is Matt Bomer, who is a cisgender male and who is openly gay. Now, the LGBT community is arguing that Bomer should not have been cast in this role because there's a plethora of successful, talented transgender actresses that could play the role instead. Now, Anything will star Bomer as a trans sex worker who begins an intense friendship with a suicidal man played by actor John Carroll Lynch. Mark Ruffalo responded to the criticisms on Twitter by saying, "To the trans community, I hear you. It's wrenching to see you in pain." And he also says, "I'm glad we're having this conversation. It's time." In all honesty, though, he says that he suggested Matt for the role after a profound experience he had with him while making the movie The Normal Heart.
Okay, I'm going to declare everyone in this story not guilty. Am I not munificent and benevolent? Okay, so here's why. Look, they're acting. They're allowed to act in other roles. As John was saying in the morning today, John Ardola, he's like, you know, sometimes rich people play poor people. Okay, so it happens. Now, on the other hand, is there a line? Yeah, there's a line. If a white guy wanted to play a black guy in blackface, that's crossing the line, right? So that's why I don't blame activists for speaking out. They want to stand up for their rights, and or not even their rights, because you don't have a right to a movie role, right? But for their community and say, hey, we can do this too, and you should think about us. Nothing wrong with that. Mark Ruffalo says, hey, I love this guy as an actor. I really want to work with him. That's why I put him in this role. But thank you for speaking out, and I hear you. I don't think he could have handled it any better than that. He wasn't defensive about it. He wasn't angry about it. He didn't give a non-apology apology, in my opinion. Now, look, people will disagree, and they'll say, no, he should have immediately fired Matt and put in another guy. And look, I don't know any of these people, but it seems like these are all reasonable decisions that were made.
Yeah, look, I don't know much about Matt Bomer. I don't know about his talent or his, acting abilities. But what I do know is, look, it's a very interesting and sensitive time for the trans community, and they want to be represented appropriately in mass media, right? So they want to make sure that if someone is portraying a member of their community, it's someone that actually has been part of that community, who has gone through those struggles, who might actually play a role in, making sure that the movie moves in the right direction. So, look, I get it. People are concerned because they don't want to be represented in a negative light or in the wrong way. So, but at the same time, you kind of have to wait and see whether or not they're going to do right by the trans community by coming out with a good movie. And it's a terrible situation. I honestly would have preferred for them to cast someone who's transgender, but it is what it is.
Look, like I said, sometimes, by the way, it's a matter of finding a star that can get a movie produced. And yes, that system sucks, but yes, it's also real. And if you don't have a trans actor that has that kind of star power, it might be harder to get the movie done. On the other hand, the activists are right to say, hey, if you never give us a shot in the first place, how are we going to get that star power? And how many roles are there for trans actresses? And so don't take the few ones that are away from us. And, look, Mark Ruffalo Rush Limbaugh is not directing this movie, right? He's not coming at this from a bad place. He's a super lib. I would be shocked if he wasn't very sensitive to presenting the trans community in the right way in the movie, right? And now he's heard you on this, and maybe this ship might have sailed, but maybe you win the next fight. Yeah. So I just think everybody's doing the right thing here, and it's not a national emergency, and God bless both sides of this issue.